G'day crew, Ross here.
And today I'm in Europe at a little place called Zaanse Schans in the Netherlands. And we're going to take a look around. I'm going to show you what there is to see and do and what to know before you go. Zaanse Schans is an historic tourist village located 20 minutes north of Amsterdam CBD, which you can see on my dodgy map there in red on the bottom. Now, in 1946, a group of residents got together wanting to preserve local industrial heritage buildings. And with the help of an architect, they designed the site, which apart from a few small modifications, remains the same today. And the site reflects both an industrial and residential area from the 18th and 19th centuries. From 1961 to 74, various buildings and windmills from the area were transported to Zaanse Schans, adding to the buildings already there, which included 2 original windmills. The idea was to ensure the buildings were preserved for future generations. The site is now an important tourist attraction with over 2 million visitors per year. Now, this is a map from the official Zaanse Schans website, and I'll include the link to that along with some other useful links in the video description. You can see that the site encompasses both the historic area and wetlands on the right, and also includes another windmill and a row of new housing over the river to the left, and that's the same side as the train station. And there's a number of ways to get to Zaanse Schans. Number 1 is private vehicle. Bear in mind there is a parking fee of €15 or about 30 Australian dollars. They don't do hourly parking, so that's the rate for the whole day. Second is one of the mini tours or hop on or hop off buses, and that's a very easy way to get there, starting from €20 to €30. You can also take the train from Amsterdam Central, which is only 20 minutes away by rail. Note that it's then a 15-minute walk across the bridge once you get off the train. You can, of course, also cycle there. The Netherlands is ideal for cycling with over 37,000 kilometres of bike tracks crisscrossing the country, and it's only a small country. By bike, it's a leisurely hour from Central Station, or just under 17 kilometres. And of course, you can always walk there if you're keen, and the Netherlands is one of the flattest countries in the world. Not as flat as the Maldives, but not far off. When you enter the site, the museum is directly in front, with a lookout tower just behind it. From there, you can visit a number of shops, including a cheese shop, Clog factory, windmill shop, pewter foundry, liquor distillery, trash and treasure antique shop, and a bunch of eateries. Now let's take a look at my favourite shop first, which was the cheese shop. Now, at the back of the shop is a vat of milk and a large display of cheeses. Although I don't know that they make the cheeses on site, there didn't seem to be a production area. However, who knows? I don't think most people are terribly fussed because we were all lining up for the cheese tasting. Here's a selection of photos showing the range of cheeses they have for sale. The basic cheeses were 380 grams, and as you can see there, these cost around €17 each, or about $33. That's quite a lot of dollars. Now, you can buy 4 cheeses for €60, which is just slightly cheaper, and that's around 120 Australian dollars for 1.5 kilos of cheese. And I know it's good, but I'm not sure it's that good. You can bring up to 10 kilos of cheese into Australia, provided it meets strict rules and is from a country that has been approved as being free of foot and mouth disease, which the Netherlands currently is. For our friends across the pond, you can also bring cheese from the Netherlands into New Zealand, so you can buy this stuff and bring it home. My favourite of the cheeses I tasted was definitely the coconut cheese. Oh my God, it was beautiful. The jalapeno and honey cheeses were also amazing. Unfortunately, the beer cheese did not, in fact, taste like beer. I know, that was disappointing. Next to the cheese shop, there is a Clog factory, which I actually missed in my hurry to see everything. So some of these photos were taken by the girls, while I picked up a few online from Pixabay and Pexels.com, which I also upload to. So there is a display of clog making, but it's not what I expected, which was someone with a chisel hand making clogs. It was in fact this machine which carves the wood mechanically. There's a display of clogs which you can of course buy for a souvenir, and there's a gem-encrusted clog just for the ooh-ah factor. And let's face it, for people to take photos for their Insta accounts. Moving outside, we can see some of the traditional houses, and these are located near the road. They're original buildings moved to the site, not recreations. Unfortunately, you can't look inside any of them, and that's because people actually live here. It is a proper residential area. It's very pretty, and of course, the whole area is surrounded by canals, like most of the Netherlands. There are 8 windmills on site, including 3 sawmills, 3 oil mills, a mustard mill and a dye mill, where various raw materials are ground up into pigments to make dyes. Now, you're probably wondering about the sails on the windmills. The sails are draped over wood, which is not unlike a wooden trellis. The sailors draped over each vane of the windmill, and in this video you can see the sails of the windmill are partially folded or furled, means they've been pulled back a little bit so there's not as much material for the wind to push on. This slows the windmill head or cap in higher winds, so the faster the wind blows, the more the sails are folded. In the Netherlands, the positions of the sails when the mill is not working has a specific meaning. If the blades are stopped in a plus sign, i.e. straight up and straight across, the windmill is open for business. However, when the blades are stopped in an X configuration, the windmill is closed or not functional. Basically, it's an 18th century version of a neon sign. But that's enough of windmills for a minute, although I wanted to show you this one, which is located just over the bridge on the other side of the river, near the train station. This gives a really good idea of just how large these mills are, and the caps of those can exceed 20 tonnes, so they are very, very large. While we're over this site, let's take a look at some of the more modern housing in current day Netherlands. This is still part of the site and includes some modern houses, a couple of small parks and a lovely eatery just near the bridge. It is well worth crossing over the bridge to take a look if you get time. However, if you're on a time limited tour, you're probably better off sticking to the historic site, otherwise you're likely to miss stuff like I did. The site itself is free to enter and is open 24/7, 365. However, given that most of the businesses there are 9 to 5, you probably want to go there during opening hours to get the most out of your trip. Also note that there are costs incurred to enter museums, go up a windmill, buy some food, or even to go to the loo. Yes, it will cost you €1 to go to the bathroom, which is common throughout Europe. Card only, no cash. Maybe they're worried about dirty money. And trust me, there's no trees to hide behind, so that really is your only option. Now, to walk up into one of the windmills costs €7.50, and if you're lucky enough to visit in spring and you're also visiting Keukenhof Gardens, save your money as there's a windmill at Keukenhof, and that's actually it right there. That is free, so you can walk up into that for nothing, so save your money, especially if you're a family, and note that I've got an upcoming video on Keukenhof Gardens, keep an eye out for it. There are 7 museums on site, including the Bakery Museum, a cooperage, and the Time Museum, which ironically I didn't get time to visit. Now, you may want to look into buying a ticket at the very least for the Zaanse Schans Museum, the main museum, which also houses the Chocolate Museum. Cost is €16.50, and you can of course buy the Zaanse Schans card, which includes access to multiple museums. We rocked up uninformed, not really having any understanding of the site, and as a result we did not get the most out of our visit. So I would suggest spending half an hour online, get yourself informed, and you will enjoy this site just that little bit more. Now, here's some of the photos taken in a number of shops, including the antique shop and several that sold bric-a-brac. They're big on Miffy here, which is a children's character. There is copper pots and pans, there is a glassware, a lot of handmade clothing, and basically you can spend a good half an hour just wandering around these shops. They've got some great little souvenirs and knickknacks and a lot of handmade things, so very, very nice. Food-wise, there are a number of eateries and food stalls, as I've mentioned, including the cafe and the museum and the other side of the bridge, and there's also some food carts, so you're not going to go hungry. Some people visit the site in spring between mid-March and mid-May as part of a combined Zaanse Schans and Keukenhof Gardens visit, and that only allows a visit at Zaanse Schans for about 2 hours 20 minutes, and it's about an hour less than what you need to see it properly and be unrushed. So you may wish to have a think about that and maybe do those 2 sites on different days, perhaps on the hop-on, hop-off bus. Also, just before we finish, keep an eye out because I'm going to be doing another video, my next video on Keukenhof Gardens, so keep an eye out on that one. Alright guys, well that's Zaanse Schans in a nutshell, a place you can easily spend a couple of hours. As always, thanks for your time, and until next time, happy travels, see ya.